Most Europeans believe that the United States is in decline. This is according to a major survey of more than 15,000 people across 11 countries. Joining me, Jackie Cameron of BizNews, to discuss the crisis of American power, how Europeans see Biden's US, and, importantly, what this means for Africa, is Mr. Theo Murphy, Africa Director at the European Council on Foreign Relations. Can you just sketch out briefly some of the key findings from that survey?
I think those who look with a realpolitik eye see that something has really fundamentally changed.
There seems to be some sort of indication from your respondents that China is going to become a stronger power than the US.
Over the last 10 years, certain European countries had very strong business-motivated interests for drawing closer to China. The idea was that China was going to be sort of the factory of the world, and that suited those economies in Europe quite well that have high value-added production. But it's turned out that it's not quite so simple, that China isn't happy just to be the factory of the world, but it would also like to move up the value-added chain.
What might this mean for international relations, also global trade? You know, the shift that the US is no longer seen as the superpower forever.
I look at this particularly in the context of relations in Africa. Europe has been embarking on a process of trying to redefine its relationship with Africa. But one thing that China did was it came to Africa and took a totally different approach. It saw it as a place of opportunity and political and economic market share.
So this waning influence of the US will actually be to Africa's advantage, you think, in the long run?
I don't think it's necessarily to Africa's advantage. We should look at how the US views China's activity in Africa. The US has made a lot of the same observations which I attributed to Europe, but came to a different conclusion. The US basically said, let us compete toe-to-toe, head-to-head with China and try to offer the same things that China is offering. I think also this model of, you could call it industrial policy, is something that's a bit anathema to a liberalized Western economy. There's areas historically where the US was paramount, and I think will continue to be. I don't think you can ever match the amount of money that China has put in.
You've been listening to Mr. Theo Murphy, Africa Director at the European Council on Foreign Relations. I'm Jackie Cameron for BizNews.